Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Carl, you're fucking fired. Oh, for Pete's sake. Alright, what the hell do we do now? Hello YouTubers and welcome aboard. I am Noob Flyboy X, and what a way to start the season it looks like. Well, nothing to do now but change our helmet. I have a new helmet for a new season, I guess. Well, we're going to jump on board straight away. We've done tours of this track before. We are back in Australia at Albert Park. Coming now to the end of the first session of qualifying. We're a little bit down on where I'd like to be, but there we are across the line. Hoping to make some improvement there. I think we did. And there we go. We've improved to 9th, so that will definitely get us through to the next session. For qualifying 2, I decide that I want to go on to a better strategy for the race, so I go to the red striped super soft tire rather than the purple ultra softs, so I'll be able to run a longer first stint coming through now to set our first time. There we go, not so bad, we're in 8th at the time. But as the session progresses, we tumble down the order a little bit. I thought I gave it pretty much everything I had, and I don't want to switch to the softer compound of tires in order to try to improve my time. So as the session is about to come to an end here, I decide that I'm actually going to retire. I'll just keep whatever position I end up with and work with the better strategy in the race, and our position is going to be 15th.
New drivers, new cars, and a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that hosts the first round of a 21 race championship, taking us from here in Melbourne, Australia, across the globe before we eventually reach the season finale at Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. With that then, let's run through the grid order. Kimi Raikkonen starts today from pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Max Verstappen and Ricciardo, Magnussen, Ocon, Sainz and Sergio Perez, Van Dorn, Leclerc, Marcus Ericsson, Iceman, Grosjean, Hulkenberg, Brendan Hartley and Pierre Gasly. Alonso, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Lance Stroll rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck.
So, starting in 14th, as it turns out, as Fernando Alonso already is struck with some kind of penalty, maybe changing something that's not working inside that McLaren. That's unfortunate for him, but we have to focus now as the lights go out. It is the beginning of Season 2 here for Career Mode. Looking down the main straightaway, Magnussen, I believe, actually no, Grosjean rather, coming up our outside. Into the first corner though, late on the brakes as we're able to do. Upright, very close to the Force India there, and one of the 2 Saubers getting very close to us. That's Marcus Ericsson trying to come up past us here, and we're wheel to wheel down the second straightaway. Into the braking zone though, there we're past the McLaren of Stoffel Van Dorn. A little bit of contact there with the Force India of Sergio Perez, and now we're looking to get on with this and get after his teammate Esteban Ocon. We have made up several places. We're already up to 10th, so we're in a point scoring position already, and all we have to do now is hold it. But we're going to have to make sure we have pace to do that. That means staying close to Ocon so he doesn't get away from us and doesn't allow Perez to close in as well. We get a little bit close to Ocon here, but it's first lap, no DRS yet, so we're going to have to wait a little bit for a major advantage. On lap 4, though, we haven't really made much progress. Ocon is a ways up the road, and Perez is looking a little bit threatening behind us, getting a bit close there into the braking zone. So we are having to defend again. The problem of not being able to make progress early in the race is still haunting me here. I'd love to be able to get over that and get on with it sooner than this, but by the end of lap 4, start of lap 5, now we're in position to attack Ocon. He's on the outside there. There we go, up the inside. Possibly a little bit of contact, I don't think so. But because we were behind him as we hit the detection zone, I am able to get DRS to extend my advantage over him as we head down the second straightaway there into that heavy braking zone, where potentially there was a passing opportunity for him. On lap 6, though, I've started to notice something odd that's happening up in front of us. Usually the lead cars will all pull away, but now it's one of the 2 Ferraris, I think Sebastian Vettel, holding up quite a train of everyone else. There's one of the Red Bulls, the 2 Mercedes, another Red Bull, and everyone else behind. I'm wondering if there's some kind of issue that Ferrari is having that is making him hold up so many people. I get a bit of an answer on lap 7.
Right, some information on Ricciardo. They have some kind of mechanical problem.
So it's not one of the Ferraris, at least, that's causing some of this, but instead Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull. On lap 8, we can start to see the results of that problem as Carlos Sainz is slow, along with Ricciardo and Magnussen a little bit for good measure. There's a bit of a group of cars coming in here. Ricciardo locks up, and we actually have to tap the back of him. Carlos Sainz is still there on our inside. Takes the inside line and darts up the inside of us, but I'm not going to let that stand. Up the inside of him for good measure. You didn't see that coming, did you, son? But there we go. There's a bit of contact as he tried to turn in early, but he's not going to continue in this fight. He dives into the pit lane. We're left with Esteban Ocon still behind us, looking to make up for the position he lost earlier. But a few corners later, we're on Ricciardo's tail, trying to close in. Not really using the slipstream a whole lot. Ricciardo locks up again. That might be some kind of result of whatever mechanical problem he's facing. He's locked up several times. It's a bit uncharacteristic of Mr. Dive Bomb. But we've got him covered, and now we can start to pass people in the pits thanks to our strategy. The harder tire in qualifying has allowed us to pass first Kevin Magnussen and now Max Verstappen. On lap 12, though, it's time for our one pit stop. Because we only have the one stop here, we are going to get some track position out of this, and Australia is a fairly difficult track to pass at. There's only 2 real passing opportunities, and that's into the first and third corners. So, we're not going to have to deal with too many people passing us now that we've done our one stop. Looks like we're going to come back out in about 8th place. That's behind Brendan Hartley, but he'll pit very soon, so we end up in 7th. Ricciardo is behind us. He doesn't have the pace with whatever issue it is, and so we're able to look forward now to try to pass someone. And the driver in our sights is Kevin Magnussen. Magnussen is going to be a little bit tricky to close in on, though. That Haas is still very pacey. But we are slowly making our way towards him, though. We got on his tail in around lap 16. It's lap 22 now, as we see Max Verstappen is actually out of the race, so it's a pretty bad day for the Red Bull team, with one of their drivers having an issue, the other actually retiring from the race. They're not going to get a whole lot of points out of this. Magnussen, though, now in our sights as we pass the stricken Verstappen. It's taken us several laps to catch him, and it takes us up until the end of lap 22, start of 23, but now he's in our crosshairs. Slipstream, he defends the inside, but we dive around the outside there. Keep the speed on around there. Wheel on the curb. There we go. And again, because we went in behind him to the detection zone, I've got DRS to try to extend the gap as we head down the second straightaway, and we've covered off his potential counterattack for the time being. Lap 25, though, the race already winding down, but it looks like Lance Stroll is out of the race, so I'm left to fly the flag solo for Williams yet again. Kind of unfortunate to start the season this way, but hey, we'll have upgrades coming hopefully soon. There he is over on the left there. But now, only 4 laps to the end. Magnussen is still being very aggressive behind us, looking to try to counterattack and make up for the mistake that he made of defending the inside and letting us swoop around the outside of him. He's staying close, within 1 second, so he's still got DRS in the DRS zones of this track. But despite not making as many upgrades to the engine as I had hoped to by now, the engine in the car is, of course, still very good, as I never fail to remind you guys, actually. But it is enough to hold Magnussen at bay on the circuit where everywhere else is rather difficult to pass, unless you really, really know what you're doing and are really confident. But here we can see, as we head into one of the DRS zones, he is still close enough, but it's not enough to make much of a difference. On lap 29, the last lap of the race, up ahead of us we see Kimi Räikkönen has won the first race of the effectively 2019 season. Still playing 2018 though. I'm not sure I'll get F1 2019. I just have to start as a rookie all over again. In any case though, it looks like a solid first race for us. The 2 Ferraris have come home 1-2 and the 2 Mercedes behind them. So that's what everyone thought 2019 was going to be like until the Mercedes pulled a 1-2 out of their asses. But anyway, we've improved a lot over our previous season's place here of 9th. Good way to start the season. It's 5th in Australia.
Top job, my friend, top job. I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari.
So Ferrari will start the season very, very well indeed, with a 1-2 with Kimi Räikkönen and Sebastian Vettel coming home, ahead of Valtteri Bottas, the defending world champion. He started on a little bit of a back foot, I guess, but still on the podium, so he's got a good foundation to work from. So do we, actually. That despite being the only Williams out there on the track, finishing 5th is enough to put the team in 3rd place in the constructors' standing at the moment, well ahead of Red Bull, who only had Daniel Ricciardo come home in 8th place, and ahead of any other teams, because it looks like the only double points finishers were Renault, aside from the top 2 teams, and they do not have enough points combined to pass us. So excellent start to the season despite the lack of performance that we're showing, but upgrades are coming. Thank you very much for watching, as always, and have a nice day.